I am 33 years old, and I have Hashimoto's autoimmune condition with hypothyroidism. And I got my hypothyroidism diagnosis in 2018 and my Hashimoto's diagnosis in 2021. And really just since probably 2019, I've really struggled with inflammation and continual weight gain. I had a lot of digestive issues for looking back most of my life, which I was able to get mostly under control a few years ago. And so at this point, was just really wanting to address inflammation and hormone imbalances and weight. I initially did like a discovery call with you and Tasha last fall. Was like right after I had met with a dietitian through my endocrinologist who was telling me I just needed to eat 1,500 calories a day. And I was so triggered because I've done calorie counting before, maybe like in my early 20s, and it worked. But again, I was younger, my metabolism was different. And my husband had even been for a while like, well, are you tracking what you're eating? And I was so frustrated because like, yes, I know diet's important and movement is important, but it's not the whole picture, especially when it comes to having an autoimmune disease. And so it was just like, I was getting so much conflicting information online about nervous system reset and diet and exercise and do this, don't do that. This is better. That's, and like just so much contradicting information in general, but then specifically for autoimmune disease and Hashimoto's. And so I was just in this state of like information overwhelm, and my husband was asking me things and suggesting things, and it was triggering me because I was like, no, that's not the way to do it because of what I was seeing online. And then I met with the dietitian at my endocrinologist's office, and she had said 1,500 calories a day. And I was like, that's it. Like, I can't do this. Like, I don't know what else to do. And I found Tasha on Instagram right around that same time. And she was saying, you know, she had Hashimoto's and a bunch of other autoimmune diseases. And so I was like, okay, this woman is fit. She looks amazing. Like, let me see what she has to say. And, you know, she's like, I'm eating tons of carbs and all these things. And so I was like, okay, let me see what's up. So, discovery call, Tasha was like, no, you need to be eating like 2,000 or maybe like even like 2,200 calories a day. Like, you're a tall woman, like you have an autoimmune disease, you need lots of carbs. Like, that 1,500 is not okay. And I was like, yes, okay, she hears me. And then I really love too, just like the approach of like, it's not just diet and exercise, because I feel like so much of what I was seeing online was like either just diet and exercise or just functional approaches, like getting stool tests done and like your GI maps and like just doing functional testing, or just the like mindset and nervous system reset sort of thing. And so I was like feeling really overwhelmed with like, who do I follow? Which approach do I take? I believe in all of them, but anyone's program was only just one thing. And so I really liked hearing from the discovery call that I had with you and Tasha, that like you take a holistic approach and that you address all of the things and not just one or the other. That is what I love the most about the coaching, is just like finding the simple ways to help me reframe my mindset so that I can move forward and like appreciate the progress that I make, and not feel stuck like, oh, the scale's not moving, this isn't working. But like, so then like progress photos, and then like having a scale that shows me my body fat and muscle composition, like has been game changer for me. And then also like I really loved learning about the progressive overload. I was stuck in this, again, due to social media, was stuck in this like only lift heavy during ovulation and do like walks and Pilates and yoga and like, so like, but not lifting consistently throughout the month. It was mostly like only do weights and cardio on these days of your cycle. I got kind of sucked into that for the last year and a half. And so like learning about the progressive overload with exercise and weight training, and like not being scared of cardio was also really helpful. I used to be like a cardio junkie, like that's all I did. And then in the last couple of years, I was like, no, cardio is bad because it like spikes my cortisol and does all these things with my autoimmune disease and whatever. And so I became afraid of cardio. And so like I was really glad to be able to learn, okay, how do I implement different zones of cardio throughout my cycle, and how do I improve my weight training and the progressive overload, and so many things that I have like really loved and appreciated from the program. Like also learning how to eat through the cycle as well, and like not whether it's like the types of foods that I should be eating during the different phases, or like learning how to fluctuate the macros, and not just being stuck at like a 1,500 calorie diet forever and always. And then like where I thought I was getting enough fuel, whether it was like carbs or protein, and realizing I probably wasn't. And so reframing my mindset around tracking has changed as well, because like I said earlier, I think like it was really triggering for me to think about having to track my food. But now I put it in a way of like, I'm making, instead of like how many calories am I eating, it's like, am I making sure I'm getting enough nutrients and the things that my body needs throughout the day to like fuel my body and improve my muscles and all of that. So yeah, really, I loved everything. It's tough too, because if other women that are out there like me, where they've already spent tens of thousands of dollars on coaches and functional labs and functional practitioners and all these different protocols and approaches and elimination diets and like literally everything, and it's just like you feel so stuck. I've done it all. Maybe not all of it, but I've done so much over the last maybe 5-6 years in trying to like feel better, and it felt like everything I was trying was just making it worse because I was just getting so stressed. And so this was 100% worth the investment in the coaching. I wish I could continue for another 3 or 6 months. Only worth the investment. Trust the process, and go in knowing that like you're not just going to be told to do these exercises and eat certain calories. Like it's a very much like holistic lifestyle approach, and like the learning from you like tricks to help me adjust the mental shifts, and like rewiring the mindset, because I've already learned so much about that, but just like figuring out a way to help me implement it in a way that doesn't feel overwhelming, or something that feels achievable, like the neutral statements rather than positive statements. Like that was a game changer for me. And so just being able to have like that coaching and those conversations with you, and helping me to like not get stuck, or when I am feeling stuck, how can I get out of this? Because yeah, you can give me the macros and I'll figure it out myself. But really having those conversations about me personally, where am I getting stuck outside of the programmed workouts and macros that you're giving me, was honestly like the biggest help. So go for it.